This is the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550. And now, here's your host, Sarah Mosen.
Great to be back here again, folks. And it is Thursday, and I have Christine Tumpson, who's the editor-in-chief from World Magazine. I had her on yesterday, and I just couldn't resist to have you back again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So we were chatting, and we did chat a little bit for a fairly long time off the air, and I wanted to have you share a little bit about your family life and your parents, and I just found that so interesting. How yoga has helped them and how you look at life, because it is important. It's really very important.
Well, my father has Parkinson's, and he's in advanced stages, and my mother suffered a serious stroke, an extreme stroke, 2.5 years ago. So she is paralyzed and has use of one hand and can't speak. So they were both devout Catholics, and they're 80 years old. And I suggested that we start practicing some yoga and meditation. Prior to this, my father was being examined. He has regular doctor's appointments with his neurologists, and he was interested in any kind of experimental procedures that he could come up with, because he's the primary caregiver for my mother.
Right.
So we did 6 sessions where we did some yoga, and then we did 7 minutes of quiet meditation together. At the end of 2 weeks, he had a doctor's appointment, and he is now eligible for the experimental. It's a deep brain stimulation, and he really credits it to the yoga and the meditation as giving him an opportunity to quiet his brain, and that he feels that it had an effect on his entire central nervous system.
It's incredible. It really is. I think that the benefits are, and it's in every respect, because when you are even if you go to a yoga studio, what people don't realize is you're not competing against anybody. You can just go through the poses if you want, or you can just be a child's pose, but it clears your mind, and it's a fun experience. I mean, it's fun for me, and I can't do half of the poses, but it's also an entertaining. It humbles you a little bit.
It does. I think the thing is, though, is that it really is for beginners. Anyone can try it, and that when you're on your mat, as you said, you're never in competition with anyone else, although it is a group experience. It's something that when you're in a class, there's a different kind of a phenomenon and an energy, and being part of a community, as opposed to when you're at home practicing. And those are just primarily the morning stretches. I really love the anatomy that in the way that we were created, and how these different poses. Remember, these are ancient poses that are just meant to maybe get the blood flowing to our head.
Right.
You know, when you're in that downward dog.
And with that, we were also talking about not only the Yoga Festival, which is coming up July 26th.
Right, at Point State Park, which is downtown Pittsburgh.
Beautiful Pittsburgh.
It is. It's at a sacred spot. It's in, the point is surrounded by 3 rivers, and so it's really considered to be just a beautiful spot. So it's July 26th. We have hotel packages for anyone who's interested, all-day passes. It's from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., classes and everything you can
Workshops,
imagine.
there's a ton of things going on. And, of course, you can chat with me and also ask for Christine. You can call us here at 1-800-662-9550. What's the website that they can reach out to you on that as well?
That is whirlmagazine.com. So it's WHIRL magazine, spelled out, .com.
Okay. And with the magazines, I've gone online as well to read them, and I always find interesting articles. You have great covers. You're giving back to the community, and both you and your husband, and I certainly feel privileged and blessed to have met you. I know you have a very hectic lifestyle, but you're always smiling. You're always
thank you.
enjoying life, and
Thank
I think that's a gift. It really is important to have that in your life, because often enough, it just smiling at somebody is something that is, so much more meaningful than buying something for them. It's not always about dollars and cents, which is what I deal with every day, but it's not about how much money you give. You can volunteer, you can give time to be of service.
You know, it's funny that you say that, because I really think that when you smile and you send a positive message, that you are enriching the lives of everybody that you see, if only for that second. There's a reason why we are where we are right now. And if you can just share a little joy, that is wonderful. All too often we only hear this negative, and we feel that it's okay to pass that along.
I know.
What if we change that? What if instead of passing along what our problems are, and instead of feeling that that's what we need to do, what if we share a smile and some joy? I think that could be a great thing.
I think so. I think that gratitude, that's for me the word of just feeling that gratitude. And I've always said to our listeners, because we are big sponsors of events and great athletes. My coach, who was chatting about, Sarah Warner and then Sharon Skittle, terrific ladies who are so involved with health and wellness, and happy to hear that you're going to work with her on the Trigger Workshop for the Yoga Festival.
Oh, yes. At the yoga, she will be there, and we're excited. We're excited to see it because we know how effective it's been with you.
It has. I endorse her. I don't endorse a lot of people because of the fact that I feel that it's so important to be able to maintain good health and also have good people surrounding you, you know?
Right. Well, you know, I think it's interesting, too, that this type of treatment with yoga and trigger point therapy and this natural is considered to be alternative and somehow less than whenever we hear these other statistics about pharmaceutical use.
Right.
Those are concerns. Pain medication, those are concerns. Those are real problems that are societal problems that are causing major disruptions in people's lives just by the infiltration of these opiates as considered to be a de rigueur way to take care of an injury. Yeah. Why don't we flip that and go back to the ancient true ways of healing, methods of healing that probably were more in line with how we're intended to be living our lives, the way we were created. I don't think that our Creator wants us and created us with the intent that we would be better on these different kinds of drugs. And if we have the ability to change that through yoga, which we do, and through different kinds of therapy, and by exercising, and by eating, by being mindful of what your foods are, that is huge, huge. And the cures are right there. They're all literally God-given. We need to pay attention to that.
I couldn't agree with you more. It is, I love to cook. So for me, that's my joy, because I like to cook. I cook for my family and my friends, and it actually is therapy for me. It's very relaxing. And shopping, I mean, clothes and food. Let's not forget.
Right, exactly. Well, you know, we're meant to be clothed, so that's true. We have shame.
Good answer.
Right, we're supposed to be. So you're supposed to do it as best as you can. I believe that too.
I'm professional,
exactly,
both, and expert in both. But I think that the giving part of it, because I do believe in that, and so strongly because of the fact that what we do, we leave behind that legacy, and that legacy has to be just not about how much money you spend. It's the time that you give. It's the care that you give to the person or to people, for that matter. I see relationships break down because of finances, and I've been on the air for 10 years. I've talked to our listeners are terrific. They're so gracious. Unfortunately, with finances, as you know, the scenario is that people are breaking down their relationships, parents with their children, relationships, marriages is a 50% divorce rate. And that's why I think it is critical and so very important to have you here on the air to share the good work that you're doing, because you're passing on this legacy, which is so very important.
Well, I appreciate that. I was a divorce attorney prior to this, and in fact, 90% of my clients, it was finances for the divorce.
Right. And that's the thing. I mean, it's unfortunate because
you have to live below your means. You don't have these expectations. Maybe if I do think that there are ways that we can heal ourselves without spending all of this money. There's a lot of money wasted on drugs and different kinds of things that are unnecessary, whenever you can really heal your body naturally, heal your mind, take care of yourself in ways that, and your spirit, your soul, that are important. And really, I think they're more in line with how we're intended to be. We were put here to have this, this experience, this human experience, but not to have it tainted. And so it's a lovely opportunity for us to be able to bring all of these like-minded people. Mm-hmm. It's our third annual Yoga Fest. The past 2 years, we've had over 1,500 people each day, and it just keeps growing. It's amazing.
It is. It is. I'm excited. I mean, I'll definitely be there, but hope to bring a lot of friends because I tend to be around folks who are so interested in taking care of themselves, and I think that it's a great way to spend family time as well.
It is. It's on that though. I was a chronic migrainer, and I had every kind of drug and treatment. And what I found was that it's better to go back to the basics, right, to make sure I got enough sleep, to make sure that I exercise my body every day, because that exercise alone fires off different enzymes and hormones, and everything gets working differently. Right. And so that was wonderful. That's a wonderful thing. And then eating right, really eating clean, good things. It's not expensive to do. It's not expensive to eat salad. Yeah. Sorry. Lettuce doesn't cost much, you know? And you can get it fresh, and better yet, you can grow it in your front yard. I'm an avid gardener. I believe in that as well. There are these things that you can do that really do make a difference in your psyche and how you carry on and how you interact with your family and friends and what other doors open up to you.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that you need to adopt me, Christine. I've been trying.
You can come hang anytime. We've got a great crew. It's interesting because when we started
Be careful.
Well, when we started our magazine in Pittsburgh, everyone said to us, "You won't find the talent in Pittsburgh. You're going to have to go to New York." And in fact, we have amazing people, amazing talent, and a lot of people. We've been doing this now for 13 years, but we found a lot of people who really think how we do, and it's growing in amazing numbers, from 30 studios 3 years ago to 300 now.
Incredible.
This is the rising movement. What you are doing by letting me talk about it, this is what it is. The uprising now is for the joy-filled life, for the people who want to live as we were created to live, following these basic tenets.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Now listen, folks, July 26th, the Yoga Festival. This is Christine Tumpson with World Magazine. She's the editor-in-chief. And, of course, you can call us here at 1-800-662-9550. And, again, your site where they can actually log in. And
right, it's worldmagazine.com.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to have to go, unfortunately, but it was wonderful having you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Stay well, folks.
This has been the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550.